Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our Speedcast coverage of this year's National Autosport Association National Championships. It's going to be a fantastic race here in Mid-Ohio. H1 green, green, green. Landrum, your pole sitter, did not get a great start. Good run for Martinez. He's going to look to the inside of Dabrowski coming up. We have a new leader, Mark Bennett, and both against together. Evasive maneuvers. Rocco's your national champion, Bernardo Martinez. Joe Fryman, Carl Troy, Griswold, Joe Moser, Jeff Birch.
The 2008 National Autosport Association Super Touring 1 and Super Unlimited National Championship is brought to you by Toyo Tires, driven to perform, and FADT Race Engineering, where their minds are racing.
Welcome to the famed Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for the 2008 National Autosport Association Championship presented by Toyo Tires. My name is Rob Howden, and I'm joined in the booth by my colleague Al Craighead as we get set to have a look at Super Unlimited and Super Touring 1. Let's have a look at how things went last year here at Mid-Ohio for the 2007 championship. Super Unlimited up first. Thomas Soriano was able to get the jump early in his black Porsche GT3, followed by Jeremy Miller in his Store. But Chris Hall quickly was able to get by Soriano in his Radical, and this left Soriano battling with Lawrence Wang in his Radical before a spin over in the carousel. Made some contact there. Trouble for Soriano. Wang able to work his way through. The win went to Chris Hall with Lawrence Wang in second and Jeremy Miller coming home in the third spot. It's a pretty solid run for Chris Hall to score the victory. He's not here this weekend. In ST1, Thomas Glenn in his Viper was able to get out in the lead ahead of Danny Popp as they battled early on in turn number one with Popp taking the top spot. Thomas Glenn able to pull away a little bit midway through the race, looking very good, but he ended up getting caught in with a lapper here over coming into Thunder Valley, and that stopped him, allowed Popp to get through for the victory, with Glenn slipping into the second spot. It was a big win for Danny Popp, the rookie driver, still having the rookie stripe on the back of his car. Aaron Fott able to wrap things up. Let's have a look at the grids for today's main event. In Super Unlimited, Paul Brown will be on the pole position, the number 8 machine, alongside Rafael Jose Marus. Row 2 will see Richard Kohler and Norm Goldrich, while rounding at your top 5 will be Thomas Stanek. And the Super Touring category, Super Touring 1, it'll be Danny Popp on the pole position alongside Daniel Goldberg. Aaron Fott and Bob Mayer will be on row number 2, and starting in the 5th position, it'll be Daniel Ferguson alongside Michael Pinholster. In Super Touring 2, David Pintarek will be on the pole alongside David Fazino. Kenneth Smith and Stan Wilson on row number 2, and Scott Gerard and Paul Kaiser on row 3. In our Performance Touring classes, both A and B, it'll be Eric Wong and John Schmidt on the pole for the A group. Sam Halkeas and Matt Carlisle will be row number 2. John Whitaker and Robert Stout rounding out row number 3. And then in Performance Touring B, it'll be the team of Phil'sTireService.com on the pole position, number 49, starting alongside David Schatz. Row 2 will have James Holloway and Eric Meyer sitting 3rd and 4th. Row 3, 4th and 5th will be Adam McMahon and Mike Rowe. Green flag getting shown to our Super Unlimited. The lead's going to go to Paul Brown in that beautiful black and silver Morgan Aero 8 GTR, a beautiful little racing machine. Very big contrast here in road racing. We got the Morgan, and then we essentially have the late model stock car, which was built to run the ovals, here running now with Richard Kohler. We do have an incident early on. One of our camera cars, Dan Goldberg in a Panos, getting loose down in turn number 6, and his contact with his brother Brian, so the Goldbergs contact early, Al.
I'd say it's one of the rules of racing you always hear, don't hit your teammate. And I'm guessing they're teammates since they're brothers, so we'll have to see exactly what happened, but I'm sure it was not intentionally not trying to take out his brother, especially this early in the race.
You know what, just a little bit of trouble there, as I believe we're going to go to full course yellow here right now. Yes, full course yellow on the racetrack right now. All it was, I believe, was just a little error there by our camera driver, getting a little bit loose into that one corner. I believe, as we said, that was maybe Bob Mayer, one of the Goldberg brothers, actually looping around there. Let's have a look, though. We're going to go in on board with Goldberg. There's one of the camera cars we're going to lose for the day. He's obviously trouble with him right now. We're hearing a possible punctured radiator in the front of that machine, bringing up the full course yellow. But here we are, on board, going to green. We're with Goldberg as we work our way down. So Daniel Goldberg started in, I believe, the 3rd position. aggressive move down the inside here. He's definitely aggressive. Down to the inside of turn 4, but still pretty solid. Gets a good run through here. Around the outside, up over turn number 5, and a good place to be at this point. Tucks back to the inside, looking for another spot. Again, this is the replay here as he dives to the inside. Al, I think just a little bit too much. That car just got loose, and there's his brother. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, so he got a little too late. Obviously, it was a nice move the early part, but, looking at the replay here, very, very late on the brakes, getting way too deep. The back end came around. It looked like he might make it through okay, and then just drifts outside. And so you think, maybe it's going to be a nice light hit. No, he's not so lucky.
No, Panos met Panos there. As you can see, we do actually have a red flag now because we do have cleanup going. As we said, an issue there, a broken radiator for our driver there, Daniel Goldberg, with trouble. So we are, 2 laps into this, and we've already got a yellow. We're going to go talk to last year's winner in this category, Danny Popp.
Last year's race was a great Cinderella story for us. We got our comp license last year, and it was our first year of wheel-to-wheel racing. I've been doing motorsports for a long time, but we finally decided to do some wheel-to-wheel. And that was my 3rd ever race start at the beginning of national championships. And the week went really well. We won both the qualifying races, and then Tom Glenn and I had a doozy of a battle for the lead in the national championship race. We had a little minor incident in between turn 1 and 2 right at the start of the race, which damaged my car maybe a little more than his, and I was able to get the lead, and then he ran me back down and passed me, and I recovered the car and got back to him, and he got involved in our altercation. We ended up winning with a rookie plate in the car, so I couldn't ask for anything better than that.
Tell me a little bit about this year, some improvements, any improvements you made to the car to keep you kind of in the forefront again this year.
Last year we ran the car without any aerodynamic modifications. I was green, and the car was good, but we didn't really exploit all the rules that we were allowed to. And this year my teammate and I, who runs in a lower class, worked a lot on development of the front end of the car and the rear end of the car with these big 72-inch carbon wings to create downforce on the car to help our Hoosier tires from overheating and going away. So. We're still testing at Nationals, unfortunately, because we're behind schedule, but things seem to be working out all right now.
There's a driver out of Cincinnati, Ohio, Danny Popp. Looks like he's in pretty good position right now, able to score the victory last year on the car he had there. Al, this year, a bunch of aero work, as he talked about. That's got to help him here, especially in the straightaway here heading into the final corner. To get some more aerodynamics like that, to get some more grip here at Mid-Ohio, it's got to be better in the straightaway, even in the carousel as well.
Yeah, you got to figure it's been helping. And, just looking at the results this year, he's already won 2 races in his divisions here, won the Great Lakes division, won 2 races. The thing is, he's in Super Touring, which actually does have some restrictions. Super Unlimited is pretty much an open class. Where like a Super Touring, they're restricted to a 5.5 to 1 power to weight ratio. Now it's modified slightly based on something like the aero stuff you do, if you have 4 doors, the all-wheel drive, just to equalize it somewhat. But I'm sure, now that he knows some of the rules and realizes, okay, maybe it's worth taking a little penalty to get the aero package working, you can go a lot quicker.
On board here right now, currently in the 4th position in that silver vet is Aaron Fott, who is one of the sponsors, actually the primary sponsor of our broadcast here this weekend for Fott Race Engineering. He's having a good run here right now as we set up into 4th place as we get started. I thought we were going to go green that time by, but they tricked us out. They did not bring out that green flag. They got the pace car still on track.
Well, the thing is, too, I'm wondering maybe they decide because, still early in the race, everybody's bunched up, they get a lot of cars involved, they might want to start just going up down the back straightaways. We might see a green going down the back straightaway. We'll have to wait and see about that.
Sure enough, drivers in position, getting set to go again. Folks, 5 different categories in this race group here this weekend of the 2008 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires. We have, as we said, we have the Super Unlimiteds. We have the Super Touring 1 and 2 and Performance Touring A and B. And riding on board right now with Norm Goldrich, one of our Super Unlimited drivers in that Porsche 993 GT2. Al, are we going to go green this time by?
Yes, we're going to go green. As I predicted, they get the pace car pulled off, the little short chute there before the flag stand. And, yeah, we're going green. So it's going to be fun. The hard charge down into the S's. Already
a pass there. Norm Goldrich dropped somebody down the inside to take over that position. So starting on lap number 3 of a scheduled 16 here in our Super Unlimited and Super Touring 1 categories. Those are the classes we're actually going to be really focusing on here this weekend. They'll be at the front of the grid here today. Working our way through turns 4, 5, and 6 right now. It's still that Morgan leading nice and loose on the exit there, though, as he's trying to hold on here. That's Paul Brown in the number 8 machine holding on in that Morgan Aero 8, but it's Richard Kohler right there in that tube frame stock car. Lots of horsepower in that Chevy Impala. and able to put a lot of pressure on. On board now, I believe, with our Corvette C6R of Bob Nair in the Super Touring 1 category. They'll work their way up out of Thunder Valley, and he's going to lose a spot. Slips in there. The Daytona prototype Doran coming down the inside there. Al Craig, beautiful car to have on the racetrack here at Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, Toyo Soriano, we saw in the results last year, was here. We've come back with a different car, a beautiful Grand Am prototype car, a Doran, and it, obviously, you notice how it's been running very well with that car. So it's a great thing. That's a great thing about the Super Unlimited class, because the rules are pretty much unlimited. You can run pretty much any car as long as it meets the safety standards. You get a wide variety. You got the Morganero, you got the stock car, you got Corvette, you got Doran prototype car. So it's a nice mixed mash of cars. If you want to see some high horsepower cars going at it, this is the class to watch.
A really good battle here too. This is second place. The white car is second place in Super Unlimited. That blue Corvette is your leader right now in Super Touring 1. That is Danny Popp putting the pressure on here right now. So Popp on the outside. I think he's going to get out horsepower though down to the straightaway. Sure, he's got that big new wing on the back he talked about, but man, a lot of horsepower in that number 33 machine of Richard Kohler.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to figure Pod's not content just to win his class. He wants to try and win this thing overall.
That's
he wants
right.
to go after the Super Unlimited. So, but it's interesting to see the arrow the first time through was loose going through the bottom five. It might be a little slick down there because we just saw the stock car, the Chevy Impala, or maybe the shop car guy just wants to drive it sideways.
Whoa, Kohler, 4 wheels off, comes into Thunder Valley. He really drove it hard into that corner. That's turn number 9. That's that kind of off-camber right-hander. Over a rise, that car just unweighted, and he just drifted right off. 4 wheels off the racetrack, but a beautiful save for Richard Kohler and the number 33 able to hold on. That did allow Danny Popp and the number 96 Corvette to dive back into the inside again. So as we're working lap number 5 right now, the action already heated as these drivers really pushing these cars to the ultimate limit.
Yeah, exactly. And the stock car, it's such a big, heavy car. It's got a lot of horsepower. It's got a lot of rolling weight, too. So once you get it sideways, you really got to hustle that wheel to try and keep it on course. And the way the tracks is on there, it's such an off-camera turn that there's no way he was going to really keep it on course. But he did a phenomenal job of keeping it straight, keeping it off the wall.
That's exactly right, Al. What he did was over top of that, the curbing there, he really had to make sure that car was straight when he got onto the gravel, and he did a good job able to keep the thing moving forward. So it's a good save there, as we said, for Richard Kohler in the number 33. On board right now with Norm Goldrich in his Porsche 993 GT2, having a pretty solid drive here right now. I believe running now in the 4th position, right behind our Doran Daytona prototype car, Thomas Soriano.
And Soriano seems to be the car on the move right now. He's closing up quickly on his pursuers, the guys in front.
Good look there right now at Aaron Fath, our sponsor, in the number 190, running second place right now in class in that Super Touring 1 category. As we know, Danny Popp and the number 96 running in with our top 2 drivers in Super Unlimited as well.
Exactly. So it's not only a battle for top honors in your class. You're battling guys. The Super Touring guys, and Super Unlimited cars up front are pretty equal. So they got guys to race with even if it's not in their class.
Back on board with Bob Meyer, 9th overall, 3rd right now in the Super Touring 1 category. Right in front of him right now is Randy Walker, another one of those late models. And Alice, one of the cars we see come into the road racing ranks here in Super Unlimited, a lot of these ex-oval track stock cars, these guys make the transition, get the cars maybe a little bit more in tune to run on the road course. We see a lot of those cars coming over here.
We are seeing a lot of those cars, and I think it's a combination of those guys have seen these type of cars start to go road racing. We're seeing more and more road racing on the lower levels. So, and 2, the cost per dollar, you get, it's a great car. They've got huge horsepower, huge front end, probably a lot of fun to drive.
Another thing, too, I think it's probably the availability of parts. It's not a stock part you're dealing with. Right. It's a bunch of high-performance part. A lot of these cars, the A-arms, that kind of thing, are all fabricated, tube fabrication, probably a little bit cheaper than some of the other maybe A-arms or suspension pieces that you might find in a couple of the other cars. I know I have an oval car background, actually, and it's neat to see these guys bring these cars out here. A lot of body roll on the machines, obviously not quite built to stock performance standards. But I'll tell you right now, Richard Kohler's having a great drive in the 33, although we've got to give the props right now to Paul Brown in the Morgan. He has got that car hooked up. A little loose early on, like you said, Albert. I think really got the heat built into the tires, and that car's looking good. He has maybe a 2.5 lead right now over Kohler.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like he's pretty much settled into a rhythm now, and the gap's staying consistently 1 second to 2 seconds apart. So he must be pretty happy about how his car has been running this weekend. So it's always interesting to watch some of that. He's been very quick all year. Won the Mid-Atlantic, won 3 races in his division. So he knows how to run out front, and keep guys behind them, how the conservative tires make the car last for a full race.
So if we look at the overall rundown right now, it is Paul Brown leading here. Richard Kohler's finally been able to get out in front of Danny Popp and really take over that position. Fourth spot overall. I believe third in our Super Limited class is the Daytona Prototype Doran of Thomas Soriano. And then rounding out your top 5 overall right now is Aaron Bott in the Corvette number 190. So 3 of the drivers in Super Unlimited, 2 of them in Super Touring, and they're all split apart right now. First and second for Unlimited. Touring right now sitting in the 3rd and 5th positions of both drivers. Doing very well right now as Soriano continues to run here in that white Doran.
Yeah, exactly. And behind them, you got a couple more guys. You got 2 more Super Unlimited. Looks like Goldrich and Walker running back there. And then you got Meyer and Glenn in the Super Touring, completing your top 9, top 10 cars.
I got to think there's a bunch of bragging rights if you're in a Super Touring 1 car and you can outrun a Super Unlimited. I'm sure there's some smack talk in the paddock over that.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Especially since, like I said, they're restricted. They do have some restrictions. Unlike the Unlimited cars, who can pretty much do whatever they want. The Super Touring guys are restricted by power to weight ratio, and they have to go through a dyno a couple times, during the pro weekend, the national championship weekend. They have to submit their car with the sheets, what they've done in the car, and see if it matches those numbers.
Right now, what you saw there, we were on board with Bob Mayer in his Corvette C6R, the ST1 category car, able to get by Elliott Fisher in his late model Chevrolet Monte Carlo number 211. So Fisher drops back to position. A good move there by Bob Mayer as he was able to get by under braking down into turn number 4. Not surprising. The Corvette probably a little bit lighter than that stock car, a little more braking capability, able to get down the inside and was able to make that move. So that's a good move for him. We're back on board here now with our leader in the Morgan. That is Paul Brown. But I'm telling you, we have a challenge here coming up. And there's a car going off. One of the Thunder Roadsters. One of the Thunder Roadsters in the performance touring category is off the racetrack. And that has definitely allowed Kohler to close up in the number 33. Working lap number 5, I believe, or 6 right now. We definitely have a battle. Kohler starting to reel in your leader. He'll look to the inside, coming down in there. So Kohler starting to put a pressure on the Morgan Aero 8. Paul Brown was running very well there, Al. Looks like he's maybe fallen off a little bit. He had great pace earlier on, but either Kohler stepped it up, or I'm telling you, Brown just seems like he could be having a bit of trouble. Definitely a different line coming down through 6.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if he ran trouble. Originally, I was going to say maybe there was a waving yellow there in turn 2, and he just backed out of it, and that caused Brown to close up, or to get closed up by Kohler. And now I'm not so sure. Now it looks like Kohler's car is actually handling the better of the 2 cars. So we'll wait and see. The interesting thing, too, is where is Kohler going to be able to pass? Yes, he's got a lot more horsepower. This car's going to weigh a good bunch more than that Morgan, too. So your typical late braking maneuver might not work here.
He is closing up all over the place. They've finally worked their way into some of the back of the performance touring traffic. And so now they got to go to work on the lap cars. Always an interesting part of any race, how the drivers are able to work their way and pick their way through the lap cars to slower traffic. But I'm telling you, Richard Kohler in this number 33 is closing up on our leader, Paul Brown, who has led from the green flag and through that opening lap yellow flag as well. So right now, we got a battle here. We're going to jump on board here right now, I believe, folks, with Bob Mayer. Let's have a look at this racetrack. Now they work their way through the carousel. On board with Mayer here. Let's have a little run here. It sounds real like you're down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Mayer will get in here, maybe a little tap of the brake, get on the throttle, get the car settled, back on the throttle, try to work his way up here through 1. This is where you can really let these cars go. Out here to the keyhole. This is a very tough corner. Got to get the car positioned, get on the brakes, get it to transition, get it to take a set, because an off-camber corner to the right, downhill. Back on the throttle, but you got to be gentle because it is off camber. Most drivers will get up on the curbing maybe a little bit now. Very important part of the racetrack, and that is why the keyhole is so important. You need to get through there quickly, Al Craig, because this is the best chance to pass here at Mid-Ohio.
Exactly, and it's got such a late apex too. You want to get, a lot of times you just want to turn in a little early, and that's going to ruin your extra speed. And as you said, that's the best place to pass. Once you're going to pass the guys down the end of the back straightaway. So if you screw that up, your exit speed's really bad.
We didn't get a chance to see it, but the pass was made for the lead. We have a new point man here in Super Unlimited. It's Richard Kohler in the number 33, the driver out of Roanoke, Virginia. Puts his his Chevy Impala, the stock car, out in front of Paul Brown's Morgan Aero 8. Brown out of Covina, California. So east versus west going at it here right now, and the new leaders, they're working their way back up on more traffic as Kohler will look to go to the inside of one of these 600 racing Thunder Roadsters. He'll take that spot away. Let's see one of the Hondas out front here as well. So Kohler dominating the inside. Look at this, though. Here comes Morgan. The Morgan again. That is Paul Brown in the number 8 trying to get a run here. Oh, they split a car going down the straightaway.
I thought he was going to just tuck in behind because you got to figure that the big Chevy Impala is giving off a lot of air. He should be able to get a good draft, but maybe the Brown decided to use that slower car as a pick.
I don't know what happened. Look at how far back Brown has fallen here. Now by maybe 7 or 8 lengths. He was right on him coming in the middle of the straightaway. And now that Morgan just kind of slowing down a little bit. Interesting to see the gap has built up quite a bit here for Kohler. I don't know if he just went way deeper on the brakes and Brown decided maybe to check up a little bit, or maybe Brown having a little bit of brake trouble right now and uncomfortable with the car that he does have. A little bit slower, but a good line coming into Thunder Valley. But right now, Kohler able to pull away in the white number 33.
And the way his car's going, it doesn't look like his lines don't look that off. So I'm thinking, like you said, maybe his brakes have gone away, or he's having a heating issue. Maybe his car's overheating or something like that. He's having some problems there. Because he's definitely fallen back, and you had the toe. You would think he'd close right up under. He's a lighter car, close up under the braking, but that was not the case.
Kohler doing a good job getting by some lap traffic. He's able to slip past the BMW there. Same goes for Brown. He'll go to the inside of turn number 1, but not able to make that pass stick in turn 1. And that's one of the troubles with lap traffic right there. He had to check up to the inside of turn number 1, able to get the pass done on the exit. But here we go, folks. We do want to thank all of the drivers in Super Unlimited, Super Touring 1 and 2, and our Performance A and B, all the competitors for making this Speedcast possible. I want to thank, obviously, Norm Goldrich, Bob Mayer, and Dan Goldberg, the drivers who stepped up to get the camera cars in. We'd like to thank the presenting sponsors of this weekend's race, PFADT Engineering, where their minds are racing. And Toyo Tires, the presenting sponsor of the entire 2008 NASA Championships. But hats off to all the drivers in these categories who stepped up and said, hey, we want a Speedcast for our class. And here we are, full coverage of this year's Super Unlimited, Super Touring 1 and 2, and Performance Touring A and B categories. This battle, though, lap traffic back in the hunt again.
I say, and just heated back up. And that's the great thing about Mid-Ohio is when you got such a mixture of classes, and the time difference is huge. I mean, the Super Unlimited guys are almost 10 seconds a lap quicker than the Performance Touring B guys. It's really, if you catch a guy in the wrong place, it's going to bunch everybody back together. And it heats up these battles for the lead because you think, oh, no, he's checked out, the race is over. And all of a sudden, bam, he hits lap traffic in the wrong part, maybe into madness, something like that. The guy behind him gets a clean run, go down the front straight, and hey, we got a battle on our hands again.
Like that was it right there. Paul Brown able to close right back up on Richard Kohler. And now within maybe 2 lengths again. He was probably 10 or 11 lengths back as Kohler looked like he was totally pulling away. As we come across the line right now to put lap number 11 in the books. I believe maybe 4 to go, 4 or 5 laps remaining here in our race group, including Super Touring and Super Unlimited. So close right back up again, and then again, there's got to be an issue there. Look at this. Brown falling well back. Again, he was only, 2 lengths in the carousel. Al, there's got to be something wrong with that race car.
Yeah, I don't think that car is working according to plan, and now he's not only does he have to worry about trying to not fall too far back, he's got that Dorn of Thomas Soriano closing up real quick. So pretty soon he's going to have a car in his mirrors that isn't a lap car or someone not battling for position. It's going to be a guy saying, hey, I want to take your podium spot away from you.
Yeah, we definitely have trouble right now with Paul Brown, folks. He's lost a ton of gap here, or a ton of cushion. Here's Soriano right on him right now, too. So we have trouble for our former leader, Paul Brown, in the number 8. So the driver out of Covino, California, in the Morgan Aero 8 entry, that GTR. Having a look here right now at Danny Popp. He is your leader in ST1, looking to go back-to-back this year, a sophomore in the category. He won last year in his freshman race here at the NASA Championships. Here's a pass right now for that position. Soriano into second spot as they work their way through turn number 7 and 8, or rather 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. He was all over them, able to get the job done in turn number 8. So, we're going to keep a look here as we continue to watch the track actions. There's got to be trouble here for Paul Brown right now. He's lost a ton of room. In fact, we don't even see him coming up here. And he very slowly coming up.
And he just got out of the way in the Thunder Valley. He could have fought for position. He just, got off the racing line and pretty much waved the door through. So he knows he's got a problem. His car is not working right. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him coming down pit lane anytime soon.
Yeah, definite trouble, as we said there, for Paul Brown, folks. Unfortunate, as he led early and put down some really, really good laps. On board now here with Goldrich. Norm Goldrich in the Porsche GT2, currently running 4th spot in the Super Unlimited category, going to work on the number 94.
That's Walker. So the 2 Corvettes going right at it, head-to-head there. He's going to battle for that final podium spot. They want to visit the podium. Yes, they don't really have a shot to win, but they want to fight for that podium spot in Super Unlimited.
Just get on board here right now with Norm Goldrich, a Porsche 993 running currently in the 4th position in that category.
Actually, he must be in 3rd because that's the guys behind him now. And there's Brown still going around, going slowly, and you can see he just pulled off the line, gotten out of the throttle. So, something definitely wrong. He's just cruising around hoping that maybe he can just get the checker flag.
Interesting that he would stay on track right now, knowing that there's still 3 or 4 laps remaining, but he is still on the racetrack, cruising down the straightaway. Trouble there for Paul Brown, folks. Definitely out of the hunt right now as Richard Kohler in that number 33 with a pretty nice little advantage right now over Thomas Soriano, but Soriano starting to close. We are watching the gap between the driver in first and second. Again, we saw the Morgan going against the stock car. That was definitely a contrast. A different contrast now. We've cut the stock car versus the Daytona prototype. A little more similarity. Obviously, the Daytona prototype, a 2-frame car, very much like the stock car itself, but totally different focus.
Yeah, exactly. But there is some tie over because you see all those NASCAR guys going racing Grand Am prototype cars now. So maybe these guys, are going to hook up later on and say, hey, those guys are done. Well, we do that too. We'll swap cars.
Again, a little shot there of Danny Popp, but he's getting closed up here right now, I believe, by one of the Goldbergs. Trying to roll him in a little bit here. And the Pano, that yellow Pano starting to close up. Remember, that was the driver that was involved hitting his brother Daniel's car. And he is closing up right now. Brian Goldberg definitely closing up. The driver running in second spot has started to reel in Danny Popp here, last year's winner. So this is a battle here for the lead in our Super Touring 1 category.
I'm not sure, though, if it is, because I think he might have gone a lap down when he spun, so we'll have to wait and see to get some live timing here to get the timing feed. But I think he might have actually lost a lap when he went, ran into his brother there. So it's going to be fun to watch to see if he wants to give up the position.
So if he's a lap down, let's see what Pop's going to do. Let's see if Pop lets him go by here. Now, if he doesn't have, there we go right there. We're seeing exactly what happened, folks. Trouble for Paul Brown. He's going to park that Morgan Arrow and say, I'm done for the day. So a leader early on, he's done right now. Back to this battle. I thought it might have been for the lead in the ST1 category. We're being told right now that Goldberg's actually a lap back.
I don't know if Pop knows that or not.
I don't think he does, because they're going to go at it.
And he's not about to give that position up.
Look at these guys diced it up here. I guarantee you Goldberg's like, dude, I'm a lap back. Let me go.
See, generally, you got to figure his crew would be, Pop's crew would be saying, hey, he's a lap down, let him go, because he might get frustrated and run into you, and you don't want that to happen, because then they'll throw your win away. So we'll wait and see how this all shakes out. But they're definitely having some fun up there going nose to tail.
Well, ideally, this is not going to affect the end of the race, because Danny Popp having a great run right now. He's out in the lead. I believe running second spot at this point here is Aaron Fatt in that number 190 Corvette. So ideally, this is not going to cause Popp any problems here right now, as here comes Fatt right there as he rolls by our camera, currently running second spot in our Super Touring 1 category. So back on board, or in our keyhole camera here, as we're watching Goldberg continue to try to find a way by. He'll get a good run out this time down the straightaway, as he's able to slip by this time as they work down the straightaway. I'll tell you, he may be a lap back, but he is flying.
Yeah, he's flying. Actually,
there's our leader. That's our leader, Kohler, off the racetrack. Here comes Soriano. So good cut by our cameraman. Our director shooting us over to Kohler. 3 wheels, 4 wheels off, full cross up, coming out of 6.
Yeah,
ouch!
I'm guessing, got the Madness, got the top part. We've seen it before in other races. We get up there and you get on the high side, and there's just no grip up there, and you go flying off, and somehow you just end up at the bottom of the hill by the bridge.
Yeah, see, we need an in-car camera in Kohler's car, because I think he would have been sawing on the wheel in a big way. And look at, here's our battle here again. Our leader and driver currently running what is 7th position, 1 lap down. Brian Goldberg in ST1 battling with Danny Popp, just trying to get his lap back here. And these guys are really dicing at it, so a lot of action. Now we've got a battle for first and second in Super Unlimited. Thomas Soriano's been able to close up, obviously, with Kohler going off, so definite battle there. Here it is here.
I was just going to say, I was hoping the director would go back to that. Yes, I want to watch the other two guys, but this is a fight for the lead and win overall. I want to see this.
Soriano will look on the inside coming into the keyhole, but a pretty good run into that corner. Good on the brakes for the number 33 at Kohler. So Kohler doing whatever he can. Knows he made a mistake early on here. This looks like it's going to be the final lap. Last lap on the racetrack here right now. Soriano's got to throw everything at him. They'll go inside one of the lap cars here.
And he's going to have to try and do it under brake because he doesn't have the horsepower to catch him down the straightaway.
He does not, and he can't quite get it done. Looked like he might have had a look to try to go late in the brakes there. Up now to the inside over in turn number 5. Oh, a little early on the turn in and had to correct over the curving. Here's a good shot of them coming down to turn number 6. This time Kohler able to keep it on the asphalt.
Still wiggling that back end though.
Oh, so a lot of horsepower there trying to get back on it early. Over Madness. That is turn number 8 over to turn number 9, which is going to lead him into Thunder Valley. He's got a couple of lengths here. So they're going to work their way through Thunder Valley. You know what? They made it exciting for sure at the end there. A four-wheel-off excursion for Richard Kohler in the 33 over in turn number 5 between 5 and 6. Put him well back, but Soriano made a run. Here again is our battle here. Oh, contact! No! That's for the leader, Goldberg, on the final lap trying to go by your leader.
And I think he just lost the lead.
Oh,
I
you
think
gotta be
Fag
kidding
just
me.
went through. So while battling for a lap car, with exactly what your crew tells you not to do, has cost them.
That is trouble for Danny Popp, able to continue on in second spot. So Danny Popp in second, but that has put Aaron Fott in the number 190 into the lead. Can you believe it on the final lap? He can hardly keep the car on the racetrack. There's got to be something broken there. He's going to just try to limp it home. Goldberg may try to go around here, but the victory, dual victories, folks. Richard Kohler scoring the win in Super Unlimited. We lost, obviously, the run across here.
And this car is definitely broken.
Oh, that thing's jacked up. I think there's something bad in that. I think he might have lost the tire, or maybe even the wheel off the right rear. So the win in ST1 is going to go to Aaron Fott, and Richard Kohler is going to win in Super Unlimited. Let's have a look at this again, folks. We're going to hopefully go to a replay here of what just happened. Here he is. Goldberg tries the inside, overcooks the brakes, gets crossed up, and drives into the right rear of our leader. Look at this. Crossed up, under braking. The leader didn't want to give it up to that lap car. He obviously didn't know it was a lap car.
Yeah.
And he hard into the right rear of our leader, Danny Popp.
He's going to be hot inside his cockpit.
And here's our replay of the lead here. This is the battle across the line to win Super Unlimited. Kohler takes the victory by less than a tenth of a second. The number we're getting, .082, the win for Richard Kohler over Thomas Soriano. So, folks, that's going to wrap things up here right now from Mid-Ohio as our Super Unlimited, Super Touring 1 and 2, and Performance Touring A and B drivers put a hell of a race on for us. Al, two crazy finishes. A good one in Super Unlimited, a battle for the win, but then that trouble, a lap car and a leader taking out our top man with, 4 corners left to go.
4 corners. Well, I'll say one thing. The fans on hand definitely got their money's worth for coming down the Mid-Ohio. That's one thing you're always going to get to see here at these NASCAR championships, some great racing. Let's go look at the top 5 in all our classes that race.
Let's have a look at those, Al.
So winning overall, as we said, Richard Kohler there with a narrow win over Thomas Soriano. Norm Goldrich finished 3rd. Elliot Fisher was 4th, and Thomas Statnick was 5th.
In Super Touring 1, Aaron Fott scoring that victory. As we saw, Danny Popp able to limp across the line in 2nd. Bob Mayer was 3rd. Thomas Glenn 4th. And Michael Pinholster rounding out your top 5.
In Super Touring 2, which we didn't get to see a lot of action, Dave Panatrick pretty much led the whole race, beat James Forbes, Paul Kaiser, Kenneth Smith, and Whelan Hassami.
In our Performance Touring A category, John Schmidt with a half a second victory over Eric Wong. Sam Halkias was 3rd. Chris Herrick was 4th. And Drew Ewing capping off your top 5.
And finally, in Performance Touring B, is David Schultz was your runaway leader. He won by over 30 seconds over Kumar Viswaluham, James Holloway, Adam McMahon, and David Muramato.
That caps off what we saw here today, folks, and what was a great race group here at the National Autosport Association Championships. On behalf of Toyo Tires, we want to thank them. We want to thank Fat Race Engineering. On behalf of the National Autosport Association, Speedcast Productions, and my colleague Al Craighead, this has been Rob Howden bidding you a farewell from Mid-Ohio. We'll see you next year in Utah.